The number one thing you have to do to avoid losing custody in your divorce case, well, the number one thing, don't move out. You know, a common mistake we see people make is they moved out of the house, their wife asked them to leave, or it's uncomfortable staying together because they're not getting along anymore, whatever it is, and they leave for no reason. And I'm not talking about like there's domestic violence or some sort of court order that says they have to leave. They just have moved out, and it causes a lot of trouble when there's children. You move out with no plan, no discussion, nothing you can count on other than a promise of when you're going to see the kids, and now you're living somewhere else and you're not seeing the kids and you've lost all your leverage. You're not staying there anymore. You're having a hard time seeing the kids. You really aren't free to come and go to the house anymore. You certainly don't feel like that, and it just leads to all sorts of trouble. So the number one thing is don't move out. And before I forget, there's a related topic too. There's another video that you should check out of our videos here, and it's a companion video to this topic, and I'll put the link here in the video. And that video is called "Should I Move Out in a Divorce?" Related topic, because the number one reason that we look at for why people lose custody is they do move out. So there's also a video about should I move out in a divorce, and it explains why basically we think you shouldn't be moving out. Definitely not right away, definitely not without a plan, and for no reason. You know, and the number two thing to avoid with a custody case, things to avoid, things to help you prevent losing custody in your custody case, is to file first in a divorce. When you're going into a divorce, always better to be the one to file than the one to be receiving a lawsuit. A divorce is a lawsuit, so is a custody case. So whether you're married or not, you're gonna end up having to go through the legal system to establish your rights to the kids. When you're married, there's a given that you have some rights to these kids. When you're not married, you don't have any rights unless you're the mom. So that's the way Michigan law is. So filing first is certainly paramount. It's key for a lot of reasons. Whoever files first is going to be able to get temporary court orders signed without a hearing. It's possible to put whatever you want in those court orders, depending on the judge and the county that you're in. Those things get signed. A lot of times they just get reviewed by a clerk and stamped. And now just because someone filed first, they're controlling what the custody order says, what the parenting time order might say, what child support says. If you're living apart, there could be child support. So it leads to all sorts of troubles. And then another strategy to avoid losing custody in your divorce case is to stay actively involved. There's no way to come into court and pretend like you want all this time with the kids when you're not around the kids and you're not involved with their lives, and you know, they're school age and you couldn't even name one of their teachers or something. You got to be involved with the kids. You can't pretend to suddenly be looking for shared custody or a lot of time with your kids when that hasn't been the case. So if this is coming, your relationship's in trouble, and a divorce is coming, a separation's coming, you want to be on top of it. If you're looking to be actively involved in the kids' lives, you need to start doing that now. There's no way to just make that up later. You need to be involved in their lives. Be the one taking them to their events, to the doctor, to the dentist, to the soccer, to the whatever. Be involved in their lives. It's more fun anyways. It's more fun to be involved, see what they're up to, keep a good relationship going with them. That'll see you through in a divorce or separation as well, because it allows you to get more of a shared custody arrangement right from the beginning and to keep that going. You know, another thought is to make sure you file something right away. A mistake I see pretty typically, whether it's divorce or even people that aren't married, is they go their separate ways and nobody ever files a court case. And if you're not married, mom has basically all the rights. You don't have any rights. Your mom, the mother of the children, can't grant you any rights. It's not up to her. Michigan law says you got to file a custody case and get it set up through the court system. So you go your separate ways and you never file a court case. File a court case right away. Whether it's a child custody case, or if you're not on the birth certificate, then you do a paternity case. If you're getting divorced, of course, you would file a divorce case. That would make the most sense. There's no reason to file a child custody case if you're married, because if you're doing custody, that means you're living apart, and you're not going to live apart and stay married. That would be unusual. So that's the other strategies. Make sure you get a case filed right away. So I hope those things help you. You know, stay away from moving out. Make sure you file first. Stay actively involved in the kids' lives. Make sure you file a court case right away when it's appropriate. And those things will see you through at the beginning stages of looking at getting child custody and getting legal custody, physical custody set up, parenting time, and get all that stuff set up the right way.